Yes, sir. We will call to order the meeting for the City of Statesboro. Today's date is October the 18th, 2022. We will have our invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Paulette Shavers.
Let us bow. Lord, thank you for this day and the wonderful people of Statesboro, Georgia. Please provide this council with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how to govern the city. Let the spirit of unity flow within us, and let us remember that it is your power that flows within us that gives us the ability to be great. Bless our city, our county, our state, and these United States of America. Amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3, which is recognition and public presentations. Do we have a representative from First Baptist Church here this evening? Okay. Seeing that there is none, we'll move down to agenda item.
You're kidding, John.
Yeah.
Nobody came to know.
There you are.
Why don't you take it, Nancy? You happy too?
John, you ready?
Yeah.
I love that. All right. I know, right? Like you don't work with me. All right. And what we're presenting tonight is the key to the city to First Baptist Church in honor of their 140-year anniversary. The work that First Baptist has done to help move our community forward, what they've done to work to serve those that's most vulnerable in our community. That legacy goes without saying, and so we wanted to make sure that we were able to recognize them for everything that they were able to do and the great work that Pastor Waters is doing over at First Baptist. So with that being said, John, we want to definitely allow you to take this in their stead, but please send our congratulations, our thank yous, and let them know we are in a world of debt for the work that they've done in this community.
Thank you very much. I will say that Dr. Waters calls me often and asks things that the church can do to help us. I got to take pictures. Thank
There you go. Hold just a second. Hold on. Not half. All right, good deal. There you go.
Thank you, guys. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 3B, which is the presentation of award to retiring water and sewer crew leader Jimmy Murray for his 21 years of service. And we want to outline the work that he's done since he's been here, and it goes as follows. Jimmy started his career with the City of Statesboro on October the 15th, 2001, after having worked for many years at the ITT Grinnell plant here in Statesboro. He was hired as a system operator and worked to obtain his water sewer distribution and collections license. Jimmy was later promoted to lead operator and has served in that capacity for several years. His greatest asset was his great smile, friendly personality, and his ability to talk to anyone and make them feel at ease. Because of his great personality, he was also always called on to answer customer complaint calls and help customers that were experiencing problems. He always took great pride in being able to help someone out that was having a difficult time. We will miss his laugh the most. Every morning and after lunch was the first thing you would hear when walking into the shop would be Jimmy's laugh and telling stories with his co-workers. We are grateful for his 21 years of dedicated service and wish him the best, and he will be greatly missed. And I want to say I've been knowing Jimmy since I was a kid, and he's been the same person the entire time. So with that being said, Jimmy, if you will. Doing good. Here it is. You want to step back? So we know the rules, just do what they say. What they say. A little bit of fun. Okay. All right, and we're gonna check this one and then one more council as well.
1, 2, 3.
They need to have a special request.
Okay. Council. We have a special request?
Yes.
From a council member. Okay.
My hand is tingling too.
Councilman Matt, can we get you on that side?
It's not my good side.
Oh, sorry. Ready, 1, 2, 3.
Come on,
All right, well, that's right.
Hold on. Before we do that, can we bring his team members up? to take
Yeah,
pictures?
yeah, oh, yeah.
Come on, team members.
Team.
And then we'll take one.
Don't walk on, Shameless.
Can everyone step back about 2 more steps?
Step back, come on, baby. Come back in there.
Hey, y'all.
Squeeze on over this way, guys.
Yeah, we know the rules, do what Lane say.
Ready, 1. Steve, step this way just a little bit. Steve, yeah, right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
You got it.
Okay. And then Paulette.
Okay, Paulette.
Congratulations.
Hold on. Hold on, got one more. This was a good looking council.
She wanted to take one by herself.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a big head.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right. Then
Come on, hold on.
Out of here.
For 15 minutes anyway.
15 minutes. Y'all gotta move.
Go get closer, please.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Okay, you ready?
First of all, I know I wouldn't have made it this far by the help of the good Lord above. Second of all, I'd like to thank my Sucker family, Steve, Keith, but anyway, my Sucker family water department, it's been some good days, some bad days, but most of all, it's been good days. And I thank everybody, what I met along the way. They inspire me, they give me the courage to keep going. It might have been a time or two I might have thought about going the other way, but just couldn't do it. So I'm leaving behind a lot of good friends, a lot of good people, and I wish the city a lot of success. And I'm gonna take one penny, what they always say. I tried to leave it better than it was before I came. Thank y'all.
We'll move down to agenda item 3C. And this is a presentation of 3CMA Savvy Award to Public Information Officer Lane Phillips for the City Employee Newsletter, the Borough Bulletin. The presentation of a Savvy Award from the City County Communications and Marketing Association to Lane Phillips, Public Information Officer for the City of Statesboro. The city's employee letter, the Borough Bulletin, won first place in the printed publications other category during the 3CMA Annual Convention in Portland, Oregon in September. Over 640 entries were submitted to the contest in 39 marketing categories. The submissions are grouped by population for judging. The Borough Bulletin won first place in the 0 to 85,000 population category. Second place went to the city of Eden Prairie in Minnesota, and third place went to the city of Venice, Florida. Ms. Phillips has worked with a committee of representatives from each city department to produce the Borough Bulletin on a quarterly basis since 2020. The 8th issue of the Borough Bulletin will be published later this month. Lane, we can't say enough about the great things that you've done. Thank you so much. Come on, Lane. The picture taker, get some picture taken.
Okay, wait.
Got it?
All right. There you go. That's good.
That's it. All right. Thank you, Lane.
Good job,
Congratulations.
Ryan.
Did you get one?
We'll now move down to agenda item 3D, presentation of a proclamation to Safe Haven recognizing October as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Where's, there you go. Come on up and I'm gonna read it. All right. A proclamation by the Mayor and City Council of Statesboro, Georgia, honoring October 2022 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systemic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control and/or abuse, and whereas domestic violence leaves an imprint of fear and hostility, and whereas the problems of domestic violence are not confined to any group or groups of people, but across all economic, racial, affectional preference, and social barriers, thereby affecting society as a whole. And whereas in the city of Statesboro, adults and children are victims of violence each year, and whereas Statesboro City Council is committed to restoring the right to freedom from fear in our homes, and whereas Statesboro City Council is committed to restoring the right to freedom from fear in our quest to impose sanctions on those who break the law by perpetrating violence. We must also meet the needs of victims of domestic violence and their children, who often suffer grave financial, physical, and psychological losses. And now therefore be it resolved that in recognition of the important work done by domestic violence programs in cooperation with Safe Haven, I, Jonathan McCullough, Mayor of the City of Statesboro, on behalf of the entire City Council, does hereby proclaim the month of October 2022 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. We urge all citizens, agencies, and businesses to work together as a team in our community through prevention, intervention, and education programs to eliminate domestic violence and become a violence-free community. Passed and adopted by the City of Statesboro on this 18th day of October 2022. Thank you. We're gonna take the photo and then allow you to say something. We're gonna move. Can we?
You tilt it forward, or that works too, yeah, just. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
I know. I just look in the middle. There you go. Congratulations. All right, if you will.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you very much to Mayor McCullough and all of the City of Statesboro for recognizing this month as Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and also for taking such a serious topic so serious. Domestic violence is something that a lot of people don't want to recognize or don't want to acknowledge, and you guys have always taken it very seriously and been there for us. And at Safe Haven, we want to be there for our community and continue to serve, strengthen, and support survivors of domestic violence. You know, we're open 24 hours a day. We provide a 24-hour helpline. We provide emergency housing, protective orders, a safe place to stay. And we just want you to know that we're here to support in any way that we can. We'd also like to invite everyone out to our candlelight vigil that's going to be on Thursday at 11:30 on October 27th with a lunch to follow to honor the 212 Georgians that lost their lives in the past year due to domestic violence. So thank you very much for this.
Thank you. Thank you for the work. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 5, which is consideration of a motion to approve the consent agenda. The consent agenda includes item A, approval of minutes for our October the 4th council minutes. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 6. A public hearing in consideration of a motion to approve application for an alcohol license in accordance with the City of Statesboro Alcohol Ordinance Section 6-13A. Family Dollar, number 203803, 2538 Northside Drive West, Statesboro, Georgia 30458. License type, package sales, beer and wine only. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Planning and zoning,
No issue, Mayor.
fire,
No issues.
chief,
No issues, Mayor.
all right, Kane.
No issues, Mayor.
All right, is there anyone here to speak for the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there anyone here to speak against the request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, any discussion by council?
Go beer, wine, and Family Dollar.
There you go.
Never heard such.
All right, seeing that there's a motion to approve.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, let us show that agenda item 6 is passed. We'll move down to agenda item 7, which is the public hearing and consideration of a motion to approve application RZ 22-09-02. Jared Walden requested zoning map amendment from the R15, which is single family residential zoning district, to the O, which is office zoning district, to expand the existing dental office on 0.24 acres of property located at 703 East Grady Street. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? All right, Kathy, if you'll give us some insight.
Yes, sir. The applicant requests a zoning map amendment from the R15 Single Family Residential Zoning District to the O Office Zoning District in order to expand the existing parking lot and office of the adjacent parcel. Currently, the property has an existing single-family house and sits in an area of mixed office and single-family home uses. Specifically, the applicant intends to expand the parking lot from the existing dental office and renovate the single-family home that's currently on the site to serve as an additional administrative space. And you can see the location of the parcel outlined in red on East Grady Street. The future land use map shows this to be in an established residential neighborhood. The existing zoning is shown to be R15, although it does border on the office zoning area. The subject property is shown on the top left. The property to the west, which is being used as an office, is shown on the bottom right. The property to the south is shown on the top left, and the property to the southwest is shown on the bottom right. This is a plan showing the proposed improvements. The parcel outlined in the black on the right shows the extension of the existing dental office in terms of parking, as well as the building itself. The idea being that if that building would be used for administrative uses, and the parking, of course, is extended from the original parcel, which is on the left. Staff does recommend approval of RZ 22-09-02. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated condition. 1, approval of the zoning map amendment does not grant the right to develop on the property. All construction must be reviewed and approved by the city. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on Tuesday, October the 5th, 2022, the commission recommended approval of the zoning map amendment and conditions upon a 4-0 vote. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Is there anyone here to speak for the request?
Hey, good evening. Exactly as it was stated earlier, that's our intentions are made.
Please state your name.
My name is Jared Walden, I'm sorry. I'm actually the owner of the dental office there, and a practicing dentist. But that is exactly what our plans are, to expand our parking lot that we have to allow us more parking, and also take the existing building and basically expand it to some more administrative space. Was kind of what our intentions were.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone here to speak against the request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We want to open it up for council discussion. Seeing that there's no discussion, is there a motion to approve the staff's conditions? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we move over to agenda item 8, which is a public hearing and consideration of motion to approve. 8A is an application, AN 22-09-03, the Parker Company's request annexation of the 3 properties totaling 3.8 acres in order to construct a Parker's Kitchen located on the intersection of Buckhalter and Highway 67, commonly known as 17241 Georgia Highway 67. 8B is application RZ 22-09-04, the Parker Company's requested zoning map amendment from the R40 Single Family Residential Zoning District to the HOC Highway Oriented Commercial Zoning District in order to construct a Parker's Kitchen located on the 3.8 acres of the property at the intersection of Buckhalter and Highway 67. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Right, Kathy, if you will.
Yes, sir. I am going to combine the discussion on both applications, but would ask you to vote on them separately. The applicant requests an annexation on 3 acres located on the corner of Burkhalter Road and US Highway 67 for the development of a Parker's Kitchen. As per Article 22, Section 2207 of the Statesboro zoning ordinance, all properties annexed into the city are to be considered to be in the R40 Single Family Residential Zoning District. As per this section, the applicant also requests a zoning map amendment from the R40 zoning district to the HOC Highway Oriented Commercial Zoning District. Currently, this property consists of approximately 3.8 acres across 3 parcels, in which 2 are wooded and 1 is a dilapidated house. Preliminary plans for the property show the demolition of the existing house, recombination of the associated parcels, and construction to allow for entry on US Highway 67 as well as on Burkhalter Road. In conjunction with the reporting standards of the Department of Community Affairs, staff recommends passage of ordinance 2022-05, which satisfies state reporting requirements for annexations. So you can see the 3 parcels located at the intersection of Highway 67 and Burkhalter Road, outlined in red. The future land use map shows this area to be shown as emerging business. The current zoning is zone HC, which is the county zoning, and the proposal is to rezone this to HOC, which is our zoning. The subject property is shown on the top left picture. The property to the south is shown on the bottom right. Property to the north is shown on the top left, and the property to the east is shown on the bottom right. And this shows the proposed site plan. You can see there's an entryway on Highway 67, and also there's an entryway on Burkhalter Road. And the plans are for a access road that will service both of these driveways. Staff does recommend approval of AN 22-09-03, as well as RZ 22-09-04. If this petition is approved by the mayor and city council, it should be subject to the applicant's agreement to the following enumerated conditions. 1, approval of this annexation and zoning map amendment does not grant site and/or building plan approval as submitted. Projects will be required to meet all city ordinances and applicable building codes. 2, prior to construction commencement, the applicant must ensure that the completion of a traffic study is submitted to the city engineering department for the purpose of confirming any possible traffic calming opportunities. And 3, a recombination plat must be submitted and recorded before the issuance of any land disturbance permits for the project. At the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on Tuesday, October 5th, 2022, the Commission recommended approval of the annexation and zoning map amendment and staff conditions by a 4-0 vote. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request?
Good evening, Brian Clauser, representative for the Parkers Company. Like she said, we're based on going to the Right Start meeting earlier this summer. It was basically kind of told us if we want to get water and sewer, we need to annex into the city. So we've worked with water and sewer staff thus far. Been coordinating with GDOT on access. Had a conversation last week with county engineer for access and improvements on Burkhalter Road. So those are all in the works.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak against the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to council discussion. Any council discussion?
Kathy, I have a question. What happened to the Parker's Kitchen that we approved a while back? Are these the same people?
Yes,
It's not open.
It's not, it's supposed to go across the street from the old KFC, right?
It was the one next to the Morris Bank.
Yes.
And they, legal issues got involved, and they were not able to build there.
Yeah, I don't think the sale.
Right.
Okay, so these are not, this is not the same. Okay.
Right, so it is a Parker's, but it's just in a different location now.
Okay.
Any further discussion by council?
Mr. Mayor, I wanted to ask a question, please, if you got somebody here from Parker's. I was pleased to see on the sketch, it looks like you're on the front corner and you're agreeing to the stipulation that we have to do traffic calming, or at least look and see what could be done. Looks like a whole lot of trees left behind it. Is that the general plan? Or is there any further plans at this point to develop the back of it?
We are looking at, this is a very conceptual sketch at this point. We are looking at using the entire development there.
For what?
They're looking at diesel fueling stations and truck parking, temporary truck parking in that back kind of corner there where the above ground pond is shown right now.
Thank you for answering the question.
Yes, ma'am.
Any further discussion by council?
I'm curious, Charles, what the impact from a traffic standpoint is going to be. City only has one corner of that intersection. And so once we start annexing property on other sides of the road, what kind of responsibility do we have to, because that Burkhalter, I think everybody in town knows that Burkhalter intersection is going to need to be expanded soon. And so what kind of responsibility falls on our shoulders, considering that we're starting to,
Yeah. First off, I think it's a good question. Before this project can actually be done, the developer is going to have a traffic impact analysis done so that any improvements that need to be made should be a part of their development costs. I think but as we move forward with this area, and I think council may be aware, this is your burgeoning development area from that area. And Burkhalter is a tremendously overburdened road. Not so much on this side. This side does have turning lanes coming off of Burkhalter, but the other side of Burkhalter is woefully inadequate. And I'll say this to our council, and I sent a email to the county manager today. We continue to approve housing developments, and the county continues to approve housing developments in that area. And the road at this point, there's no turning lane, so if you come up to Burkhalter, you have to wait several light cycles to actually be able to make that right turn coming back toward town. So right now, we're really behind the 8 ball when it comes to road improvement, the infrastructure. And it's something that we need to be in serious consultation and conversation with the county. If you remember, earlier this year, we had a subdivision that came on this side of Burkhalter that asked for the ability to get water and sewer from us, and they would have to be annexed into the city. That project has not moved forward, but at some point it will move forward. So that intersection can become costly, but developer is going to have to bear some of those improvements. But the city and the county and DOT, we would be looking at DOT to help. Now there's also Georgia Power that's located in that area, and there's a cost associated with that Georgia Power is going to be looking to someone to assist with relocation of any utilities that might have to be moved as a result of improvements in that intersection. So without a number, Mr. Boyer, it's going to be expensive, but that wouldn't be a reason not to approve this project or the annexation. But because if we don't approve it, they can still develop, but it wouldn't be to their advantage to develop without water and sewer. But those are very important questions moving forward for the city of Statesboro and Bullock County.
Thank you, Mr. Penn. Any further discussion by council?
So, could you just clarify to me the difference between a Parker's and a Parker's Kitchen?
One got chicken.
Okay.
I don't honestly know that there's a difference. I mean, it's gonna be your standard, we're proposing seven stations, so 14 gas pumps inside, normal, what you see at any Parker's has the kitchen in it.
So they were just telling me that the only difference is a breakfast biscuit.
No, it's full.
One's got a kitchen.
One has when it gets the chicken and the fish and the grits, and it's a full kitchen.
Okay.
We have a half of a kitchen here in town.
I do think based on what they've told me, it's bigger than the one that's over there.
That's what, yeah.
Okay.
That's they cleaned us with that one.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any further discussion by council?
Mr. Mayor, I would ask staff to help me understand, we're being asked to make this zoning amendment and also to annex this property, which is not yet actually in the city. So one fell swoop, both at the same time.
Yeah, what we're gonna approve them separately, but the goal
But
is.
they go together.
Yeah. All right, any further discussion by council? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to approve agenda item 8A?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, is there a motion to approve item 8B?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 9, with the record showing that agenda item 8A and B has passed. Agenda item 9 reads, public hearing, consideration of a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2022-06, an ordinance amending Article 25-A of the City Code of Ordinance, Sections 2506-A, revising amount of amenity space required and the types of outdoor areas that qualify as such. Is there a motion to open the public hearing? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. All right, Kane, if you'll give us an overview. Yeah, that's what we got. No?
No, well,
Okay, go ahead, Karen.
Yes. This, as you know, is an amendment to the R2 Townhome ordinance that we newly created. And after discussion with all of you and your input, as well as the Planning Commission, to which we took a proposal back to, as well as discussion with TSW, our zoning consultant, this is the final version that you see before you. Now you can see that the language in red has been added or modified to take into consideration the comments that were made, as well as through the Planning Commission and the zoning consultant. So the area in red, which I'll read to you, but first of all, we changed the name of the section from open space to amenity space, since this really does relate to the amenity space issue. So it now reads section 2506-A, amenity space. And so the first two sentences have been added or modified, and they read as follows. For developments equal to or exceeding 5 acres, at least 10% of the site acreage calculated based on the total lot area before development must be dedicated as amenity space. For the development smaller than 5 acres, at least 5% of site acreage must be dedicated as amenity space. And then toward the bottom, we did add other examples of amenity space, including splash pads, walking trails, and dog parks. So those are the proposed changes that were made. And then I also want to say that at the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on Tuesday, October 5th, 2022, the Commission recommended approval of the proposed ordinance as presented to you by a vote of 4-0.
Thank you. Is there anyone here to speak for the request? Anyone here to speak against the request? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll open it up for council discussion.
What's a splash pad?
Oh,
Not stormwater drainage.
Gotcha, sorry, I can't swim.
No, can't drive you.
All right, any further discussion by council? All right, is there a motion to approve to move forward for a second reading? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 10, which is the public hearing consideration of a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 2022-07, an ordinance amending Article 14 of Appendix A of City Code of Ordinance, adding requirement of mixed-use concurrency and planned unit developments. Is this a motion? Is there a motion to open the public hearing? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you, sir. So this is all new language relating to changing the planned unit development so as to mandate that it be comprised of mixed use. So it could be either housing and office, or housing and commercial or office. But there needs to be a mix of uses. And we did this by establishing concurrency requirements. And let me read this language to you since it is all new. A, at least 20% of the gross floor area of the completed PUD development shall be devoted to residential uses, and at least 20% of the total gross floor area of the completed PUD development shall be devoted to non-residential uses. So we are now establishing that there is a minimum percentage requirement of mix of uses. Then we go on to say in B, no more than 75 residential units shall be issued a certificate of occupancy in a PUD development until such time as at least 20,000 gross square feet of non-residential floor area has been issued a certificate of occupancy. Any mixed-use concurrency requirements beyond the first 75 residential units may be required by conditional zoning. And then related to that is number C, which is no certificates of occupancy shall be issued for more than 100,000 gross square feet of non-residential floor area in a PUD development until such time as a certificate of occupancy has been issued for at least 20 residential units. Any mixed-use concurrency requirements beyond the first 100,000 gross square feet may be required by conditional zoning. Now, the purpose of B and C is that, and I have actually seen this happen, is that a developer will come in for a PUD application and will show so much square footage for commercial and then so many residential units. And they really are a residential developer, and they really just want to build the residential part. And so that's what they do, and they leave the commercial part. So what this does is it requires you to build a certain percentage of each type of use before you can move forward. Okay, so that's what this means. And then I also want to say the regularly scheduled meeting of the Planning Commission on Tuesday, October 5th, 2022, the commission recommended approval of this ordinance in its entirety by a vote of 4-0. So, that's my presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is there anyone here to speak for this request? Seeing that there's none, is there anyone here to speak against the request? All right, seeing that there is none, is there a motion to close the hearing? So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we want to open it up for council discussion.
Kathy, the only question I have is, I guess if the building itself is mixed use, then that would count as concurrent.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Any further discussion by council? All right. Is there a motion to vote to approve to move the ordinance forward?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we'll move down to agenda item 11, other business from city council. Chair?
Actually, what I wanted to ask about was the High Low Trail. We got an information packet. Were you going to talk about that, or do we need to look at it when we're still talking about business, Mr. Kenny?
I was gonna bring it up, but, I mean, you can talk about it.
Okay. Well, if you want to present about it, but I just don't want to miss the opportunity to ask the council to support it.
Okay. Well, Mayor, members of the council, Mayor and I, do you want to do that?
No, is there any other business from council?
No.
All right, Ms. Pinckney.
Okay. Then, as far as the Georgia High-Low Trail is concerned, the mayor and I have actually been, I think it was about 2 years ago that we actually met with
The young lady?
Mary Charles.
Mhm.
And what it is, they're trying to get a master plan that really would stretch from one side of the state to Savannah. And they've actually, in fact, they'll be here this weekend, on the 22nd, yeah. And last year, they brought some bikers. They started from Athens and they spent the night in Statesboro. And what you're trying to do is to create a master plan for trails across the state. And it can be a part of tourism for our community as well, to be able to promote the trails and the connectivity. And so when Ms. Charles came in, she was asking for financial support from the city of Statesboro to be able to help pay for the master plan. And so, and what Ms. Barr is bringing to your attention is the other, last week at the Development Authority approved paying $1,600 toward the master plan. And I think Convention and Visitors Bureau agreed. And then Morris Bank made a $7,500 contribution toward the master plan as well. So they were asking us for about $3,300 to support the development of the master plan, but the cost is much larger than $15,000. We were talking probably a couple $100,000 for that grand master plan. And so, we didn't specifically set $3,300 aside in the city budget. However, if you desire to participate, we can cover that cost, and I don't know that we're ready, we have to pay it right now. What they're looking for is more financial commitment on the part of the city to support this effort.
Thank you. Any discussion by council?
I'm not particularly sure, what is it? Like, what are they doing?
They're doing a master plan to connect all the trails from Athens, Georgia,
Oh, okay.
all the way down to Savannah.
How many other cities have donated?
So like there's 8 in a row, and we were the next to the last. There's one that hasn't approved it and raised the money yet. The one, I forget what county it is, just below Athens. There's one that they're still working on, but we're the next to the last to say yes and come up with enough money to participate. They're asking each of the 8 counties along the way, cities or counties, to kick in this $15,000, which will just fund the master plan to figure out exactly where it should go.
Right.
I heard about it at the outdoor conference I went to in Augusta a couple of months ago, and I'm excited about it. I mean, it's really good, not only for tourists, you know, people who like to bike and camp and walk, that they have all these connected trails eventually. And so they'll hook into trails that are already there, like we have such a great trail in downtown Statesboro, the Willie McTell. And then we've got the one that goes from Statesboro out towards Brooklyn. So they're looking to connect ones that are already there and then figure out how to put, and they're also in alignment with the railroads, trying to reuse abandoned railroads where they can. But that's what the money is up front, to create this master plan to see how to best create this network of trails where people can leave Athens and go all the way to Savannah, camping, hiking, biking, or any part thereof. So I'm in favor of it.
Any further discussion by council? All right. Seeing that there's no further discussion, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Yeah, do we want to kick in, or do we want to?
I didn't know we were voting on it.
We don't have to vote on it
Tell us
now.
about it.
No, we don't have to do it now. We can put it on the agenda, if council sees fit.
So the motion is to, that we.
Again, I'd like to have the answer, or question answered, how many other actual cities have donated? The Development Authority, the Visitors Center, these are typically organizations that would support this kind of a thing. And not that I'm necessarily against it, but again, $3,300, you know, for a project that spans 8 counties. I'd like to see what other cities are involved. I would imagine that this is mostly a tourism type of project. And hopefully they should be able to get some grant money as well, but if we could find out a little bit more about who's participating and who's putting in money, that'd be great.
That's no problem at all. We can do that. All right, and so let us, the next agenda, we'll put it on the next agenda. Okay? All right. With that being said, is there anything else from the city manager?
Yes, Mayor, I have a couple of other things. I just wanted to call your attention to, you all got emails from Benji at Development Authority about the Hyundai Community Celebration. And I just wanted to check in with you. If you have RSVP, you don't have to tell me here, but if we can help you with that, so that we can get it done for you. Because I think it's next Tuesday, when that event will take place. At the work session last month, we talked about Fair Road. Y'all remember that conversation? About the safety audit that was done on Fair Road, and we talked about the need to, this GDOT is looking for some concurrence from the city about what they would do is create a median in Fair Road that was stretched from about Wendy's back to the Arcus. And it's a safety issue, and we believe that is important. Now, one thing that they will not do, we also believe that there should be an additional turning lane on the side by Dunkin' Donuts, that stretch. Because although we may be addressing safety, if we don't mitigate that right turn issue, then I think we still have some safety concerns, because then we're gonna have more rear-end accidents. And so they would look to us to provide that type of funding. The road is wide enough with the current median that we can get a right turn lane. They won't let us go all the way to Tillman, but they will let us get as far down as, I think, Zaxby's with the turn lane. But for council, wanted to bring it back to y'all, because we need to respond to them. Because if we don't respond to them, what will happen is GDOT will move on. And we'll miss out. And so I wanted to I told you we're gonna come back. We didn't put it on the agenda, but if y'all would authorize the mayor to sign the letter saying that we concur with that improvement, those improvements, and that we will look to include funding in our CIP to take care of that right turn lane on Fair Road, we need to go ahead and get that to GDOT before they move on, and we missed this turn. And then on the other side, on Northside Drive, from like Savannah going out, they want to do the same thing because there's a traffic issue, and with people turning back and forth, and it's a safety issue. And we think there needs to be another right turn lane on north side to mitigate some of those same kinds of concerns. So we again would offer to be able to fund in our CIP that additional request. So, and I just simply say, because we're now aware of this safety issue, our lack of concurrence could make us culpable if we don't, if something happens, because we can't say we don't know about it, because we have it in writing. We've had presentations in. I recommend that you authorize a letter from the city under the mayor's signature to concur with the recommendation that GDOT has, with the addition of the turning lane that we recommend.
All right, any discussion by council?
Wait a minute now, are you asking us to approve on the big 4-inch piece of concrete running down
It's
the
gonna be
7 inches? It's gonna run all the way down?
all you doing is concurring, Mr. Ray.
Well, I don't concur with a 7-inch.
It's just a curve, it's not a
Yeah,
fair.
because it's in the middle of the road.
Yes.
And then just like we talked about last time, the
Right.
one in Savannah Avenue,
Uh-huh.
I mean, people go around that one. The one on Fair Road, if we had it, you talk about blowing tires and people not paying attention
My only, I had John give me, or city engineer give me large drawing to look at, yeah. And then I just looked at some similar roads in other communities, and it's needed, and I don't think the way it's laid out will honestly affect traffic all as much as we may think. And we'll get a nice new road out of it, so that's always a benefit. That being said, the issue I would have is I've heard it, they want to pave those medians, and I just think if we pave the medians, I think what John is talking about will happen more often, which is people will try to drive over them. They really need to be landscaped, either grass or it's something like that, you know what I'm
When you
saying?
say paved medians,
Well, you got the curb, right, and then the stuff in the middle, well, you can either put grass in there or you can just pave it. I think the plan is for a large portion of it to be paved, which is just inviting what John is talking about. People just go right over that thing, but it's surprising me, you put a couple plants in there and some grass and they don't drive over it, so.
the important, and not dismissing anything, the important thing today is for you to say we concur. And then, as long as we're in the plan and they don't just move on, maybe we can impact what you're concerned about. So we still have options, we're gonna work
Work with them,
Say
and
something
they're
back.
gonna work with us.
But we, yeah,
Who's paying?
Okay.
GDOT's
GDOT
paying?
is gonna pay for the majority of it. Now, for the turning lane, we're gonna have to pay for that out of T-Splosh fund.
but that'll solve a lot of that.
Yeah, that, at Dunkin' Donuts, we have a
Cookout.
turning lane, so,
Popeyes.
so now you don't have to worry about moving out the way.
We'll bring Popeyes.
Delicious sandwich.
Okay. So,
I concur.
Yeah, is there a motion, to approve the signature of the signs? Of the
Second.
letter? Second. All
Who
those in
did the
favor?
first?
Please.
Give it to me.
Okay.
Just get it done.
All right, everybody's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, anything else, Mr. Pink?
that's it, Mayor.
All right, we'll move on
I'm
down.
sorry. I'm sorry, Mayor, I apologize. So, we are asking for a joint, work session with the county commissioners. So right now, the request would be for the November 29th at like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I'll see if we can get concurrence from the county for that.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Mr. Payne. All right, we'll move down to agenda item 13, which is public comments. For public comments, we have Blake Robinson, topic of comments, civic engagement efforts at Georgia Southern. Hey, how you doing?
Good. Good afternoon, members of the city council. Let me just get my notes pulled up. So I got a few things to talk about. I said civic engagement, but there's a few things that we've been doing at Georgia Southern. First of all, our amazing success at the James Madison game. Just gotta brag a little bit because the Eagles did put down the Dukes. And then to talk about our civic engagement efforts, I have been leading, I've been leading a lot of that as from the student side of things, but from the administrative side of things and from the faculty side of things, we've been really reaching out to faculty and administration. One thing that we're doing is trying to become a voter-friendly campus through the Voter-Friendly Campus Initiative through the Campus Vote Project. And I serve on the leadership committee for that, and we've been really pushing for getting students involved, making sure civic engagement is a primary aspect of all of our lives, especially during the midterm elections this year. And I also wanted to just plug our early voting on campus from October 25th to October 27th. And also invite you, members of the city council, and I'll also be extending this, where'd you go? I'll also be extending this invitation to the County Board of Commissioners for an election night watch party. Now, I'm also hosting a gubernatorial debate night watch party for the next debate between Stacey Abrams, Brian Kemp, and Shane Hazel, which will be October 30th, and that's a Sunday from 6 to 9 p.m. So you'll be able to come out, and if y'all want to, more than welcome to come out. But from 6 to 9, and you can come out and talk before the debate, and then watch the debate from 7 to 8, and then afterwards talk about how you felt about it, what your thoughts were on the candidates. But the election night watch party is what I really want to put on y'all's radar because, like I said, I want to invite all of the members of the council, all the members of the community as well, to come out to Georgia Southern and just mingle and, fellowship with people who are civically minded and are really trying to, understand our political system. And just also watch the results for the elections come in. So that'll of course be November 8th, again from 6 to 9, because that's when the results are mostly gonna come out, but of course there's still gonna be some holdouts, because that's how elections are. And so that's something that I really wanted to push there. And then I also wanted to commend the city council for the trail that y'all are working towards, because hearing about that, I was really happy about that, because I like trails. I bike the SNS Greenway every semester since I've been here, and I enjoy it every time, regardless of how hot and hard it can be. And then finally, I actually had a question that I wanted to raise to you all about something that I actually experienced a few days ago, well, last week actually. So I was out here over by the county annex around about, it was 1 o'clock in the morning, but that's just because I like to get out late. It's peaceful out when it's late at night. And I ran into a man who was homeless, and he said that he didn't have access to a shelter because the shelter was full. And he said, and maybe he was just, scamming me or whatever. I didn't really care. It was $20. And he asked for $20 so he could get into a hotel room and get himself some food. Him and his daughter, at least. And it got me thinking about the homeless issue that people do face. Because I know on our campus at Georgia Southern, we do have students that are homeless. It's rare to see because, we all kind of operate in our own schedules, in our own little worlds. But it does happen because I know there is one person on campus who I've seen consistently around, and I've seen her out late at night on campus, and I know she is homeless. And so I was wondering what the city is doing about about our homeless population here in the city of Statesboro. If anybody.
Well, we're very aware that there's families that's in those conditions, and we've been having conversations with a local church in regards to homelessness. As a matter of fact, 2 of those, as well as our current homeless shelter here now. And what we're finding is that the population that we're running into is that a good bit of them are dealing with other issues outside of the homelessness. And amongst those issues are addiction. So that's a health issue that we really want to take a look as far as what resources are there for those, as well as mental health. That's another piece, another caveat that we're looking at as well. We have looked at additional funding sources to see exactly what's out there and available for us. But currently, right now, the city doesn't have an apparatus that addresses homelessness specifically. But we are in those conversations, and what the hope is that we're able to find a solution that we're going to be able to put those things to work. But what we have done in the past, when we get these calls, we do work with United Way. United Way has some funding that addresses individuals that need temporary shelter. So Ms. Carrie Melton over at United Way, she's been a great resource for that. And that is kind of our bridge until we're able to get into a space where we can address this in a comprehensive fashion. But we are seeing addiction, we are seeing mental health be a key factor in many of those that's within our community, that's without a home.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
I just want to kind of echo it because it's been something that has been on my heart as well. Addressing this need of homelessness that people just want to look over, but it's here. Homelessness is here in Statesboro. So it's something that we need to look deeper into to address this issue before it becomes even bigger. So I thank you for bringing that up because it's been a passion of mine as well.
And just one final thing, I just wanted to mention that I'm standing here not just for my fellowships that I'm a part of with the Campus Vote Project and with Black Youth Vote in association with the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda, but also because I do enjoy this. I do enjoy coming out and having conversations essentially with members of city councils, and I also go to the County Board of Commissioners meetings, and I find it something that is necessary in my opinion, especially for students to get out to meetings like this. And I just want to actually see this. How many people in the general audience tonight are students from Georgia Southern?
Oh.
Wow, that's a lot more than I thought.
That's how many have to be here.
Yeah. How many have to be here? That's the question. Okay, that's what I thought. But I mean, regardless, that connection is something that I think is something we as students should strive for, and I'm just happy to help initiate that. So I thank y'all for your time, and I hope y'all keep doing the job that y'all are doing well. Thank you.
Well, Blake, I do have a question for you.
Oh, okay. I got it. Oh.
Yeah, on the 30th, where is that event gonna be on campus? And on the 8th, where is that event gonna be?
I did forget to mention that. The debate night watch party, that one's going to be in the Russell Union Theater. So it's gonna be, where you can just sit back and relax. We're gonna have a lot of, general food. It's not gonna be anything too fancy. Like, we're gonna have some pizza catered and some insomnia cookies, of course. Miscellaneous food and drinks like that. But the election night watch party, that one, I'm looking to get that one catered, but that's going to be in the information technology building, in the lobby of that building. So it's nice, it's spacious, it's an atrium, so there'll be plenty of room to walk around. There's already like tables and chairs in there, so it makes life a lot easier for me. And we're hoping that we can get a projector screen and everything set up. And I'll be in conversations with facility services to make sure that happens. And we're also hoping to see if we can get that one catered so we can let y'all experience some of the nicer sides of Georgia Southern's dining services.
Good. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Did you, were you the one to put together the,
Yeah, myself and Mr.
That's right.
Mr. Davis.
Good to see y'all. I knew it was y'all. You all recognize
Yeah.
it. That's all I wanted to ask. Thank you for what y'all do.
All right.
Thank you so much for coming out. I want to encourage all of the students here to know who your council person is. More likely, it's me. But I know Ms. Barr has some of the college as well, and to know that your vote does matter. So make sure that you get out and you vote. I know that a lot of you live back home in Atlanta and other places, but you live here, so make sure that you register to vote because your vote does matter.
Absolutely. Okay. Anything else for the good of the order? Seeing that there is none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? Aye. All right, have a good evening, Station.
Thank you.